The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
He's not welcome. I want the other one.
See if they can hear you now.
Can you guys hear us now? They hear us. Yes,
Alrighty.
they do.
Nigga need to hit his penny.
It's annoying, but
The Benjamin
Okay.
Franklin.
All right, thank you.
That goddamn.
All right.
The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music.
Soundstripe.
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
Soundstripe. And boom. I apologize. Henry didn't even know what was going on at first. He was like,
Nigga said and boom, and the camera was black.
it was on the three-way. But Henry didn't even know what was going on. He was like, he said he knows now, so that was annoying. But we apologize for the delay there, but we are here. What I was saying at the beginning, yeah. I was gonna ask y'all like the little intro? Thank you. Y'all like the intro? y'all vibing with the intro? Yeah, the little British little girl at the end. That's a nice little touch.
This is finna be a night.
But one thing I said before
My
the
fault, y'all. We're good.
problem of you guys not being able to hear me was, we have some things we're going to discuss with you guys tonight, but not after tonight. Tomorrow's Thursday, so tomorrow's Loki. Probably tomorrow afternoonish, I'm going to do a stream revolving all the T'Challa news and all the things that have been going on, from the recast Balin Skull conversation to the reboot and what My Time to Shine Hello had to say, to some of the things that we didn't get to talk about the last time with the animation and blah 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 blah, all of the things going on with the T'Challa stuff and the news out there. We are going to discuss in a stream tomorrow, and we're going to go deep into some other things too, all T'Challa related though. So I hope that you guys can all join tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be around, like I said, noonish Central Standard Time. So if you can, that's where we're going to be. So before we get started, get into anything, Q, how was your since the last time we saw you?
Super casual, you know? Life ain't been nothing crazy at all. I deadass got a lot more time to sit at home with the dogs, and I don't know what I be doing nowadays. Started working out a little more. shit just been. I'm waiting on basketball season to start in a week because that's really
Yeah.
when I have like no free time because I'll be watching games from 7 to 12, damn near fucking California tip-offs are like at 10 o'clock here.
Yeah.
So, really just waiting on that shit, but life been good. Finally fucking, I don't feel like I have any problems in life. Just chilling.
Yeah. Well, same old. For me as well. Not much been going on. Been getting the studio and things together in here. Want to now, since I think I've got it in here how I want it, besides the few other minor things, I'm gonna start working on the second studio, things like that, get that stuff going. But other than that, nah, same old, nothing new. But we're going to talk about some things with you guys today. Let's see what you guys are saying here. We got Ant-Man that said, also yesterday was the official canon death of Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Yes, yeah, I saw that yesterday. Everybody was saying that. But Omega said it's been weeks, but I missed to watch. I want to watch Shin Hati again. Yeah. That they said the numbers came out for Ahsoka and they didn't do too good. It started strong, but it ended not too well. But some of the things we're going to talk to you. Well, the first thing we're going to talk to you guys about today is going to be the Marvels. Every time we talk about the Marvels, which we know is coming out in about a month now. Every time we talk about the Marvels, it seems like people think that we are shitting on the Marvels. And it's not so much shitting on the Marvels. I don't know if you guys have seen as of lately, but some articles and numbers and things have come out and what the Marvels is projecting at right now, and it is not projecting to do well. Most recently, it was tracking to do, I think, $75 million in the box office, and its opening weekend, it's tracking to make $75 million, and which is not bad. It's not not bad, but for Marvel, for a Marvel film, that's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for a $75 million opening weekend film. And again, we've talked about this before. And again, it's not that myself or anybody else in this room dislike the Marvels or dislike those characters at all. We all three like those characters. We all three, at one point, it was on my most anticipated list of films to see until we saw the plot synopsis and things like that. And when that plot synopsis lined up with what we watched in the trailer, well, then it just kind of took the steam away from what I wanted to see. And then we've talked about this, when you had the director coming out saying, well, it's going to be a wacky, fun film and blah, 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 when the MCU has not been, when the MCU has been wacky, but not in the way that she's claiming it to be, this film to be wacky. The MCU as of late has been wacky, and coming off of a wacky MCU, I don't want to go into another wacky Marvel film. So we've talked about all those things. But the direct, Brie Larson, came out recently and said that, came out recently and was saying that she's disillusioned with her Marvel role. And this is something that adds to one of the things we've talked about with the Marvels. When we've talked about the Marvels, some of the things going against the Marvels is the hate toward Brie Larson. And I don't know, again, I don't dislike Brie Larson as I need to put you on here, Q. I don't have you on. I don't
Yeah, I think you have Corey's on.
Yeah, I did have Corey's on. I don't dislike Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, but again, one of the things working against the film is the hatred that people do have towards Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. One of the things that, that's one of the many things working toward this film. And Brie Larson is not, she's not, it's not as if she doesn't know that people do not like her as Captain Marvel. I've even brought this up before in that video, the interview she did, when the interviewer asked her, what can we look forward to in Captain Marvel 2 or whatever. Something about the film Captain Marvel 2 that he asked her, and then she said, well, I don't know. She looked directly at the camera and then said, do people want me back as Captain as Captain Marvel or whatever? So she knows that people are not wanting her to be Captain Marvel. But this is coming from the direct, and they said, according to a new report, Brie Larson may have become disillusioned about her Marvel role thanks to toxic backlash from fans. Larson, who is set to lead the Marvels as Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel, has faced her fair share of critiques since joining the superpowered franchise. For better or worse, the comic book movie genre/popcorn franchise entertainment has become immune by trolls. Emulated by trolls. In Larson's case, much of the criticism has come from as her MCU co-star Samuel Jackson once put it, people who hate strong women, with sexist comments being made about her hero, the movies she stars in, and the actor herself. Not to mention, there were rumors that were said that her and I forget what's her name that plays Monica. Is it Tatiana something like that, or Tiana? Tiana something, I think. I think it's something like that. But the rumors of the on-set drama between Brie and her, that they weren't getting along behind off screen and things like that. I don't know if we know these are rumors. We don't know if that's true, but these are things that were also said on set. And then you continue to go down, and then it says, as a part of recently released MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios, author Jonah Robinson revealed Larson has grown disillusioned with working with Marvel Studios. He goes on to say the future of those Marvel icons was unclear. The departure of the franchise anchors like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Scarlett Johansson had already taken its toll and had the shocking loss of Chadwick Boseman. But other MCU stewards were heading for the exits. The Guardians of the Galaxy cast went on a farewell tour. Brie Larson grew disillusioned. The Marvel tussled with Sony in a custody battle over Tom Holland. Disillusioned is formally defined as having lost faith or trust in something formerly regarded as good. So, again, I read all that to add to the point of, like, it ain't nobody saying or hating on the Marvels. It ain't nobody saying that they want this film to do bad. It's this film, the lack of hype. Who's talking about it? Right? No one's talking about this film. There's zero hype for this film, and it wasn't until they put out the numbers yesterday or a few days ago about what this film was going to track opening weekend that Marvel decided to put out the new TV spot. And in that new TV spot, you see the Bifrost, and it's Captain Marvel saying, I called in help from a friend, and it's the Bifrost. Now, we know that in the MCU, the Bifrost it's gone because Ragnarok. But we do know that Stormbreaker can summon the Bifrost. And so far, what we know in the MCU is that's the only thing that can summon the Bifrost. So, which leads to the question of people asking, is Thor going to show up in a cameo in this film? And is this Marvel just trying? Is it Thor? Is it not Thor? Is this Marvel trying to put asses in the seats because that's a familiar face, or whatever? Even though Captain Marvel is a familiar face too, it's just not a face people want to see. And I'll show it for people that haven't seen the TV spot. I'll go ahead and show that really quick.
We can't do this alone. We need Captain Marvel.
You took everything from me, and now I'm returning the favor.
That's not good news.
She's targeting every planet we call home. We have to stop her, together.
Higher, further, faster.
The Marvels.
I called a friend.
Rated PG-13.
So, that has people again asking, is this is the friend that she's calling in, is it Thor? And the direct, of course, had an article up, and they went on to say the latest trailer for Marvel Studios, the Marvels, includes a potential cameo for a character from the Thor franchise. Thor was last seen in the MCU during 2022's Love and Thunder, in which he went on a wild adventure all across the universe. It wasn't that wild. With Valkyrie, Jane Foster, and Korg. Rumors pointed to Captain Marvel 2, including a Valkyrie cameo after Tessa Thompson's headshot was seen amongst other pictures for the film's cast, although nothing has been confirmed yet. And then it shows what we all just saw in the trailer. blah, 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 blah. Will Valkyrie appear in Captain Marvel 2? At this point, there's no way to leave a potential Valkyrie cameo off the table for the Marvels, especially after the movie's promotional tour utilized Thor from Avengers Endgame in a recent preview, but with plenty of other characters to catch up with from this cast, most prominently Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan. It would seem that Valkyrie wouldn't be set for a major role in the sequel. Currently, reports indicate that the Marvels will be the shortest film in the MCU's history at only 105 minutes long, meaning that the plot will be fairly condensed around the film's 3 leading heroines. But with other rumors indicating that the sequel will actually tie in heavily with the grand scheme of the multiversal saga, it better. Only time will tell just how much action and drama will be jammed-packed into this movie's runtime. Now, Tessa Thompson is another one, Valkyrie. And, although outside of the Avengers, the only person that we've really seen her have interactions with outside of the 3 that are dead, I don't even know if she didn't have interactions with Iron Man. I don't believe she did. No. She did with Rhodey, Black Widow, Thor, and Cap, and then the girls that she teamed up with.
Does Banner count and Shang-Chi's
credit scene? Well, there's that.
I don't know if they were talking to each other, but they were both pulled up.
They were there. So there's that as well. So that's a possibility, and I would think that honestly Tessa Thompson's would be more likely, because didn't Tessa Thompson also do something in an interview where she was talking about a relationship between her and Captain Marvel?
That, and I don't know, some of the comments have been saying that it's going to be Valkyrie as well, just because they're not going to call a male in for it's a female movie and everything. Right. Just those types of things and everything like that. But I just think of it in the sense of, in Endgame, didn't Valkyrie and her and that little woman, so they already have that establishment, I feel like, and so they're just going to build on that. Plus, I mean, we thought she was going to die in the last movie because she has nothing else to really do. But I mean, if she's not dead, that's the only way to really keep her around. But I just don't see. My question is, the last movie made $1 billion,
right? And
so we know it's not making $1 billion. We know it's not. It's projected to flop and everything. But what are we thinking that Marvel is wanting from this movie? Because we know they want to get to Deadpool.
Right.
This is the only movie in between there. So what are you thinking that... Because I don't think they're wanting the movie leading up to Deadpool to just be shit or ass or just boring or anything. Like, we know there's going to be the incursion and everything. That's all we've talked about. And we know that may be what ties Deadpool and everything. It probably is and everything. But it's just, what do you think they want from this movie?
I think what they're wanting from this film is to establish, like you said, one, to get to Deadpool, but not just to get to Deadpool, because we're going to see our first incursion in this film, and I think they want to really establish. Yes, we got the explanation of what an incursion was to in the MCU to everyone in Multiverse of Madness, and that's really the last film that we talked multiversal anything, because we had Guardians after, I believe, right? Was Guardians after that? I think it was. No. Whatever. I don't think it was we didn't talk much multiverse in the next film after Multiverse of Madness. Quantumania. Yeah. But so I think they really want to establish that we're moving forward. We're moving more, into the multiversal saga. We're starting to see the effects of things happening with whatever the fuck is going to be happening in Captain Marvel that's going to cause an incursion. We're starting to see the effects of what's happening with the things that were mentioned in Multiverse of Madness. And just really, kind of push the narrative forward, like we're getting to where we're going.
Okay, and so any of the movies that have really... We're in phase 4, right? Or 5?
5.
Okay, so any of the movies that have came out, have any of them, box office wise flopped? Have any of them they haven't made money on? We know they've Marvel flopped.
Standards, yeah.
But have any of them actually flopped. Because my thing is, if none of them have actually flopped, I don't think they really care about numbers on this movie because they know the next movie is making money. And I've talked about it on my story. We've talked about it a little bit. And it's just, I don't necessarily think this movie is going to be, I don't think it'll be the worst Marvel. I don't think it'll be worse than Love and Thunder.
I don't think it'll be
I don't
worse
think
than Love
it.
and Thunder.
I think it's going to be not the best Marvel movie, but I think it's going to be a fine transition into what we're getting. But the thing is, we're getting to end off, hopefully, the ending is just the incursion and everything. They just end off with that. Because that, in that way, that'll be like the first Marvel movie that's not ending the same, in a sense. You know, like, like, Infinity War and Endgame ended differently, but if we get an incursion at the end and then we just head straight to Deadpool, you know, we're all in this shit, so we know what's coming next. But, like, the normal fan just hearing that, like, oh, universes collided, we don't know what's coming. That might be able to put asses in seats.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't think the first movie was bad. I just didn't personally like it because I don't really like introduction movies like that. They're always slow, in my opinion. And so
okay for me, it wasn't like I don't go back and watch it.
I can't because it was boring.
Yeah, it for me personally. And again, that's not me saying I dislike Captain Marvel because I don't.
No.
Obviously one of my favorite figures. I mean, I don't dislike Captain
Doctor
Marvel
Strange
at
is
all.
my favorite character, and I'll tell y'all niggas, I hate Multiverse of Madness. Like, it has nothing to do with Brie Larson. Has nothing. I think the only thing that sucks a little bit is how bad Secret Invasion ended.
Yeah,
and so we know the Nick Fury thing is leading.
Some of that tying, I'm assuming.
No, I hope we do because, I mean, like, I like to be the optimistic Marvel fan because I truly do enjoy this shit. That's why I come in here and talk about it. And so it's like, the storyline and plot, even though it's not comic accurate, it's not bad for what they did in Secret Invasion, the show. They just executed it poorly. Yeah. It wasn't given enough time to develop. So it's like, but like what we have to build off that going into like Captain America, having Nick Fury in the Marvels and everything like that, there's shit to build off of. So if you take, good Lord, you got to find good writers to take the good plot points and execute it. But it's like, it's possible if I can sit here and think about it, and 20 to 30 people in our chat can sit here and tell you what to do. They can hire people to do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, I don't dislike it. It is, I'm telling you what it is. Everyone else too, every other insider, scooper, every other YouTuber or whatever is saying the exact same things, and it's not just us. The trades have now jumped in and started saying the exact same things, that this film is projecting to flop, and it's, I don't want it to. It's sad, but once we get over this hump and once we get to what they're pushing for, Deadpool, and that starts to be the film, and that's going to be the film that is going to be, that's going to take us, be the catalyst into Secret Wars, then maybe then people can get more on board. Yeah. But the Marvels is not that film to do that. But we'll be there opening night to see it. So.
I can't say I'm excited for it, but I'm not. This is something that I'll actually go see and everything. It's not like The Flash where I'm like, you know, I'm not going to go see it unless I sneak my way in or some shit. Like, I'll go pay to see the incursion. And I don't agree with making things shorter and everything. Like, you know, you're giving us a short-ass movie because, in theory, it might not be the best, so you want to get us in and out. But in the same sense, just less sometimes is less, not more. Like, giving us less screen time with some of these characters, developing into that, it's like, I don't see how they can do it. It's going to be mainly Miss Marvel. I mean, not Miss Marvel, but Captain Marvel, I feel like. Whatever they're doing with the Kree, and we might get 10, 15 minutes each with Monica and Miss Marvel.
Yeah. Well, you know, as always, question is for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking of the Marvels. Is it something that you're highly anticipating? Is it something that you are going to go see, you know, opening weekend? Are you waiting for it to hit streaming before you go to see it? Are you waiting for the word of mouth before you go to see it, or anything like that? Are you just still on that I'm not in the MCU right now. I'm just gonna wait for everything to hit streaming, and I'll watch it when I watch it. Let us know below in the comments what you guys are thinking. What we got?
Official MG said, people think this movie is going to be political, but I promise it's just a fun action space adventure movie. Secret Invasion has nothing to do with it. The Marvels is a sequel to CM, Miss Marvel, and WandaVision.
Yeah, I don't know who political or who's. I guess people. I haven't been paying attention to the Marvel space. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't. When I'm on Twitter, I'm not like looking for the Marvel spaces, so I don't know what things are being said about the Marvels that are political or not political. So if people are making the movie out to be political, then
I don't expect it to be. But that's one thing I didn't think of, being in like a sequel to WandaVision. Just, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I kind of forget how much Wanda doing that shit could have fucked the timeline or whatever up, and that we don't really talk about it. Because bitch took over a whole fucking town, and I feel like we kind of just blew by that shit.
yeah.
Like, we really don't discuss what she did.
Well, you know, one of the reasons we don't discuss what she did is because the MCU right now, it's like, did what she did matter?
That's true.
Because we're watching so many different projects where it fucking nothing's being brought up.
But that's my thing too. Like, so many catastrophic events are happening, and like we have the Westview shit, and then we have Doctor Strange making Peter forget his name, and all these niggas coming into New York. Then we have Doctor Strange having his own thing, 616 and America Chavez, and then we have shit. What else? I mean, if Moon Knight's included, we got them gods flying around and shit. We got the Eternal shit. There's just, I don't know, so much shit going around. I feel like there's just gonna be eventual plot points, because they can't explain all that shit without just. We got to get by it eventually. I mean, it wasn't the best point in Marvel. They're not gonna want to keep bringing it up. Let's just get by it.
And they also seem like they. You know, and like I always say, I will give credit where credit's due. They seem like they. I don't want to. I can't say that I can't say that it's better until I see the better. But they seem like they might have maybe finally put an ear to the ground. Maybe finally tried to make some changes, because we've now seen with the seasons and the things with Disney Plus. I still think they need to get away from Disney Plus, but the things that they're doing with Disney Plus, as far as like doing multiple seasons of, and I hope with multiple seasons that means more than 6 episodes or 8 episodes. I think you should do a minimum of 10 to 12 episodes in one season. Do your one season, anyway. So they said they're going to do multiple seasons, and then now Kevin Feige has recently, we're going to get to that, come out talking about a few different things, and we haven't really heard from Feige talk this much in a while. So
please do stay for that.
Maybe they are kind of getting things together over there. Again, I can't speak to that until I see the better. But from what we're seeing from different reports and articles and things, they may be getting their stuff together.
Couple more. The Jinx said it's going to be Valkyrie. They're not going to have a man coming in to save the day in this girl power movie.
Right, exactly what you were saying there. Yeah, and I agree with that too. And that was something that I did want to. I had pulled that up there. What Tessa Thompson had said. This was back in July. What she had said, and this was back in July of 2022, actually.
Of course, she's addressing the romance.
Yeah,
Now we come to find out.
They asked her about some, anyway, the article was from Screen Rant. It's a possible Valkyrie and Captain Marvel romance addressed by Tessa Thompson. So yeah, she did address something she did address that back in, 2022 of July 2022. So that is very could be probably more than likely.
2 more. Andre said the Marvels is going to be the shortest MCU movie at 1 hour and 44 minutes, and I think it's the best way to get past this movie to see what changes are coming next. And see, I agree and disagree, but I mean, I agree in the sense of it just depends on how the pace of the movie goes. If it's an hour and a half action movie, we walked into Black Adam and shit, we enjoyed it. And it wasn't the best plot-wise, but action-wise, it was solid enough to keep us entertained. And so we can walk into another situation like that where it's like, to this day, I mean, I'll rewatch Black Adam because I don't mind the action it's good. I can throw it in the background. But it's like I said earlier, if it's something where you're wanting us to get to know these characters more because no one really watched Miss Marvel like that, or we haven't seen Monica since WandaVision, and still not every fan is watching the TV shows, a shorter movie isn't the best in the sense to getting to know characters that you're going to build upon. So, I mean, there's a scale on it.
No, I agree.
And then Showmonger said, Wanda's history with Sokovia matters, but when she oppressed innocent people, nobody mentions it. Reminds me of Let Me Stop. No, like I said, like, we do not mention that shit.
Yeah, no. No.
I mean, but with Liam G saying it's a sequel to WandaVision, that's how Monica got her powers, so people seeing her first time on the big screen, I mean, hopefully it's brought up and everything, and hopefully it's brought into, the plot of the movie.
Right.
I don't know if you see any more comments you want to read or anything.
Well, and to what Liam said about that being a sequel to WandaVision 2, again, I have not been paying attention to the Marvel space like that.
Well, he's been saying in his group chat or Disc, whatever he's in, he knows over half the movie. He said he's seen more of it than he should.
Yeah, I was seeing what he was saying there. But, for the stuff with Wanda, I completely forgot about that, And the reason I forget that Monica's in it is it's just been so fucking long. It's been so long, and there's been no connection. So,
and it's like when you get like a string of bad stuff, it's like it's hard to remember the good and stuff. Like it was hard to remember Loki season 1 until this season came out. Like a month ago, I wasn't thinking about Loki was good. I'm thinking, let's get to Deadpool, or let's get to whatever's next. So it's like
be all over that one. And that's crazy because WandaVision was my favorite show, and I forgot that. So, no, I think we're. Gray said we still don't know anything about Monica. This short movie isn't going to help, and I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
It's disgusting.
And maybe, and I think Marvel, because I was talking about this today, but I'm sure they have sat down and discussed this soft reboot, and I think it's going to be somewhat akin to what James Gunn tried to do, but maybe did do, but I really don't know if he did it because he's talked so much and changed so much shit. But about some faces are staying, there are going to be new faces though. But like Monica, since we didn't get a lot of time with her in any saga, the multiversal saga at all, and like Gray said, we're not going to get a lot of time with her in this short film. When's the next time we're going to see her after this? Who knows? Probably around the Secret Wars time, Kang Dynasty time, probably. Maybe before, but who knows? That means after that, we've now seen her in 3 projects. And if we've only seen her in 3 projects, we didn't get a lot of time with her in the MCU at all. So she could be one of those faces that stays after the soft reboot or whatever, but yeah, I agree. We're not going to get a lot of time with her at all. But anyway, we'll move here to the next topic. The next topic that we're going to move here to is going to be. Give me 1 second. Okay.
What is it?
Okay. I was reading what they said. SP Flash said when they do reboot, they need to take some time off. But so next topic here. Why is Hollywood so afraid? and we've talked about this so many times, especially when talking about the Black Panther, talking about T'Challa, just black representation in general when it comes to film, when it comes to positive black representation in film or anything like that. Especially again when talking recast T'Challa or the Talking Wonder Man and representation, which has since been canceled. Never should have went into production with Yahya, but since been canceled. But why Hollywood is so afraid of positive black stories, and why is it that Hollywood thinks that in order to tell a black story, for black stories to sell, that it has to be a period piece, or it has to be a biopic, a struggle story, or tropes from within the black community, or something like that in order for it to sell. And so this is a new story that just kind of came out yesterday, and this is Matthew Vaughn did a interview, and in that interview he was discussing X-Men 3 and why he walked away from X-Men 3. And the reason that he walked away from X-Men 3, he spoke about with Variety. This is what Variety, or this is what he had to say to Variety. He said, one of the main reasons I quit X-Men 3, and this, I'm sorry, let me put it here so you guys can see. One of the main reasons I quit X-Men 3, and this is a true story, Vaughn said, I went to an executive's office and I saw an X3 script, and it was a lot fatter. I asked, what is this draft? Then they were like, don't worry about it. So I grabbed it and opened it in the first page, and it said, Africa, kids dying from no water, and storm creates a thunderstorm to save all these children. I thought it was a pretty cool idea, Vaughn continued. I said, what is this? They said, this is the Halle Berry script, because she hasn't signed on yet. This is what she wants it to be, and once she has signed on, we'll throw it in the bin. I thought, if you're going to do that to an Oscar-winning actress who plays Storm, I quit. Quit is exactly what Vaughn did, with the studio ultimately replacing Singer with Rush Hour filmmaker Brent Ratner. Singer left the franchise after 2000's X-Men and 2003's X-Men 2 United, the director Superman Returns. So yeah, again, unless it's and we've talked so much about this just when talking representation, and unless you are just now tuning in, I said it at the beginning, I'll say it again. Tomorrow, Central Standard Time, around noonish, we're going to talk about all the things that have been swirling around Twitter or X, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, around the internet, about T'Challa, recast T'Challa, about the reboot coming, and what My Time to Shine Hello has had to say about the animation stuff, and just all the things in general with the recast Balin Skull and the comparisons to recast T'Challa and all that stuff. But we've talked so much about this when we've talked about the recast T'Challa, and that is just the positive, our superheroes, black superheroes, being franchise characters, not only being franchise characters, but being positive, showing us in positive representation, positive lights. And I don't know if anybody, unless you read comics or whatever. Let's put it this way. Let me rewind. Let me back up. Let's say that you don't read comics and you were watching the X-Men films, the X-Men Fox films for the first time, and that's your first time seeing Storm. You know not shit about Storm. You don't know where Storm is from. You don't know anything about that, because why? They did not take that time, and not that they took the time with any character to do a full background study of the X-Men in those films like that, outside of like Logan and Magneto and maybe Charles. and Mystique. But they didn't do that like that. But what I'm saying is, you didn't even take the time to and yeah, this is back in early 2000s or whatever like that, but representation again still matters. It mattered then, it matters now, it's going to matter 10 years, 20 years, 100 years from now. But you didn't take the time to, there's no accent, there's no nothing. There was nothing cultural about this hero. It was just a black girl that could make it rain. And that's it. And outside of the corny line of what happens when you strike a toad with lightning from the first film, Halle Berry's Storm is not memorable. And to take away a scene that she did want in that, showing her in Africa, showing a little bit of Storm's background and whatever, again, that representation matters. And again, it shows you that Hollywood, and this is not just, oh, Darius is on a tangent, or oh, it's always black this or black that, or playing the race card. And as I've said last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that's the hand being dealt, that's the card I'm going to play every single time. I'm going to lay that card down every single time. Why? Because it's a representation thing. It's not nobody going off on tangents. If that's what she wanted in there, that should have been put in there, because it would have shown you a little bit of Storm's background. It would have shown you just a little bit more of who this character is. Now, I'm not saying go on a full 30-minute whatever in the film and maybe do a solo film if that's what you want to do, but we know nothing about Aurora. Nothing about her. We just, again, know that, again, it's just a black girl in the X-Men Fox franchise that can make it rain. So I thought that was pretty gross on Fox. I thought that, but again, as I started to think, yeah, that's pretty gross. It's sad that I started. It turned from, yeah, that's gross, but it's that's just, like, it's normal. That happens. That's just what it is. And Viola Davis has spoken on this. Octavia Spencer has spoken on this. There are several other black actors and actresses that have spoken on the lack of representation, again, unless
Chadwick
it's a biopic. Chadwick Boseman talked about it. Unless it's a biopic, a period piece, or a struggle story, black stories don't sell. And to Fox, for them to take that out and put it in there to appease Halle Berry, but to take it out says that no, they didn't like that scene. Not only did they not like that scene, they didn't like the scene because they didn't believe that scene would sell. That's not a scene that people would want to sit down and see. That's not a scene that nobody wants to see, starving kids in Africa, and then Halle Berry, a Storm come by and feed or whatever, give them water, whatever. So it, again, I thought that was just a good on Vaughn though, for walking away from it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's typical, like you said, like, how could they do that? And then it's like, it's normal and everything. So it's like, it's not even we know Storm's not the only one. Characters they treat like that and all the time. But like me, I told you the other day, or not, like last week, when I was sick, I was sitting there just thinking, like, there are really no biracial characters that I was sitting there looking up to. So it's like, I had to relate to those darker characters and everything, being a biracial person and everything. It's like, even then, it's like, okay, who the fuck am I supposed to relate to and everything? So it's like, I'm biracial, and so I can only imagine kids who look like that and everything, who they're looking for and everything, just to see little to no screen time or no representation at all like that of just, and so I just don't really understand. I mean, I do understand because it's been, we've had a lot of talks and conversation about it. I mean, it's been set in stone. It's the tradition. It's been implemented in the system to be that way here, and it's just, I don't know what the fuck we could do to change it, because it's like, the people with the money are the one who make the decisions and everything, and so, like I said, it's been implemented by the people with the money, and so it's like, this isn't just a representation thing. This is how they want the world to view us thing.
And, it always comes back to that.
It's not like we have an issue. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's not we have an issue giving y'all T'Challa and someone to look up to and everything. But it's an issue of, that's part of the issue. But it's also, man, now the rest of the world's going to get to see that these kings are these rulers of nations in this super rich establishment, and I don't know if that's what they're used to see. They're used to seeing Boys in the Hood or Rush Hour, just
the comedic
Friday,
sidekick.
or shit like that, where you're supposed to be the monkey with the symbols, and so there's two sides of the spectrum, but it's like usually one of the sides is good. It's like on this one, neither, like, they don't want us to have representation, and they want the world to view us in a negative connotation.
Right.
And so, and it's not just, like you said, we don't pull that card, because I'm not even 100% black. So it's not like I can go around pulling that race card and everything, but being biracial, I'm able to see both sides of the spectrum, I'm able to see, and especially, I'll say this, growing up and getting out in the environment more and hanging out with both cultures a little more and both skin tones, you definitely, if you just take a seat back and realize the treatment of people, it's like you can definitely realize it's not equal all the time. And not to say that black people treat white people equally all the time, because I know black people or colored people that look at white people in a disrespectful way just because of history. And so it's like, I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying I know people who do it. And so I don't know. To get back to the point, because I know I'm started all time yapping and shit, but to get back to the point, it's just they don't want, not to say always make it a race thing because we don't do that, but people with the money, they just don't want us to get used to seeing us in power. You know, and it's not even that way in movies. It's the same way in sports. They don't want to give star players all the money because they don't want them to have all the power. It's the same way in business, sports, life, movies, whatever you can think of, honestly. And so, like I said, I don't know what the fuck I could, not even because I know I'm one person who's probably not changing shit, but it's like I don't know what the world could do to even get that idea just reversed, because it's like I said, it's been set in tradition for so long. Like, fuck the political system, like the way we vote, everything.
You know, I know that this was just a TV show, but to me, she had so many powerful, and she's one of my all-time favorite TV show characters. So many powerful lines from that. But Viola Davis's How to Get Away with Murder as Annalise Keating. But when she was in front of the Supreme Court, when she was arguing that case, she said, you know, racism was built into the DNA of this country, and until we decide to how she said in the middle, until we decide to fix it, we'll never escape its origins. And you know, that's such a true statement. It's built into the DNA of this country. You know, we don't know what is being told to little Tommy and Cindy when they go home at night. You know, you don't know what mommy and daddy or grandma and grandpa are saying or whatever.
You don't know, drop your kids off at granny's, what's those that stay in the night trip turns into, or you don't know when even you send a kid to school and they make friends with the wrong person. It's my mommy told me my this and that. So
I have a friend that's a teacher that, you know, had a story like that was like that.
I mean, it's not even you see it all the time growing up. As a kid, you're curious, or you get treated some type of way because you're not. I mean, as a black person, I'm sure we've all found ourselves in situations as like we're not the majority. You know, we've been in a dominantly white situation, and so it's like we know how it goes in that situation.
Right. Yeah. No, we know how it goes for sure. Anybody else you see? I agree with D-Sizzle when he said an African accent is a must for me, and I agree. It's a must for me too. You know, I feel like with this version, I saw somebody else say this too, Xavier. With this version of the X-Men, yes, I agree. They do have to come correct. They got to come right with this version of the X-Men. You know, we've waited and waited this long, and yes, we know that we're getting the Fox X-Men to do their swan song goodbye in the remaining parts of the multiversal saga, however that's going to play out. But this next version of the X-Men, we need a proper Storm, like with the accent from Africa, from her roots, discussing that dark, you know, skinned, all that Storm is. We need Rogue and Gambit, you know, to have, you know, Rogue to have that country ass.
Yeah. And not to interrupt, like, we need a proper everything too.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need a proper Rogue, Gambit, and then Storm is just there.
Yeah.
Or like,
we need everybody.
either like everyone's executed or everyone's not. Like, I get, you know, I mean, I can't say Logan or Wolverine because he's co-star in the film and everything, but if Charles is there, if Magneto is there, I don't want them to just be predominantly more or predominantly written better than Storm or Rogue, or, you know, I want the same treatment for all of them, given that we know it's going to be a cameo fest, but at the same time, is that film not like, that's what we're expecting? We expected it with
multiple. Deadpool.
Yeah, because that's just what we're going to see these next or everyone in this movie and everything.
You know, I've seen people saying that it's going to be a cameo fest. Yes, there's going to be a lot of cameos in it, but it's not just cameos just to be cameos.
No. That's what I was getting to. It's not like we had that hype for Doctor Strange, but there was nothing. There was no point in that hype, though. I mean, to even say like in some of the plot leaks, they didn't really make sense to even be happening in Multiverse of Madness. To have all these cameos in Deadpool, you know, they make sense. I'm not I question the ones like Affleck's Deadpool or Daredevil and or some of the like smaller ones, but like all the X-Men ones and shit like that, they're believable.
I don't even know if Affleck as Daredevil is in Deadpool. I think that's more for Secret Wars. I think I don't even know if that Fantastic Four group is even in.
Or even if she's coming back as Elektra and those things, they're like slightly less believable. But the X, like the Storm, Rogue, and those are all. Those weave into the story and everything. Like,
right, yeah. So like it does. It plays into what they're trying to do, and if they are really doing that ultimatums or adapting that ultimatum run with the X-Men, where Magneto, the X-Men take over, there's the TVA is involved. This is a big film. This is and from what Kevin Feige had to say about it, it's their main focus. This Captain America and. Was it Secret Wars?
Yeah.
And Secret Wars. Those are their main focuses. Those are the things that they're focused on right now. They really want to get Deadpool out because it's going to push forward what they're trying to do.
I don't know if we're going to talk about... Are we talking about that whenever we get to the Kevin Feige stuff for now? But it's like, I think now, if anything, is the point in time that Marvel turns things around. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or when we get to the Kevin Feige stuff.
We can do it when we get to Feige because we got... one more than Feige.
Yeah, and I was going to say, just because the shit that's coming out, if it's done right, I think it's very easy to get your fans back on track.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, you have a loyal enough fan base to tell you how shit your stuff is, that means they're still watching it, or they're still sticking around and watching parts of it, or just word of mouth hearing it. They're not completely disconnected with the franchise. And so, it's savable. I'm not saying anything like that, but... yeah, we can get to that later.
Yeah. Let's see.
Read Johnny Washington.
Yeah, Johnny said, a Storm origin in Africa as a troublesome child running into a young T'Challa and her falling in love with him at first sight would be dope to see. Would be. Let's see. Stamina said ScarJo shouldn't have had an accent. Lizzie lost hers a little quickly. 'Tis true. D. Stizzle said Halle accent disappeared. Did she have one? I don't even remember her using one.
They said she had one in one of the movies, but...
oh, did she? I don't remember her using one at all. Maybe I need to go back and watch that shit. Was
No,
it the first one?
Maybe you don't. maybe I'm not.
What's up, Groovy?
I mean, that's another thing, though, like, the accents
I don't
of...
remember that.
They got rid of Elizabeth's. I mean, they didn't want to give Chadwick and T'Challa his, so he fought for his. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing where it's like, shit, you as an actor might have to know your character and fight for that, because we know damn well they're not... Nate Moore, they are not reading source material.
I mean, Benedict has even said that. He said that there is things he fought for, like where he was like, he wouldn't do this, or he would do this, you know. And that is important. It is important to know your character. It's important to that's why even though I know everybody keeps telling me go back and watch Rogue One, but when Tony Gilroy, when you come out and you're saying things like don't expect to see lightsabers or this or that in Star Wars, well, motherfucker, what? And I don't have to have lightsabers to enjoy Star Wars, but to me, like the Force and all that's like some of that stuff is centric. Like aliens, that is centric to Star Wars. Like seeing other species, I don't want to just watch it. Like, nah. So when you come out and you're saying stuff like that, like that's why it's important to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hungry Almighty said, there's this theory that The soft MCU reboot is going to take inspiration from the new. Yes, I've seen that. The new Ultimate comic announced Spider-Man, Avengers, X-Men, and Black Panther. Yes, I did see that. I saw that. That is the theory that is going around. That is not the comic. I have not read it. It's new, so I have not. But yes, I've seen the cover. I've seen the comic itself. I have not opened them. Yeah, I've seen that theory. I've seen that going around. Tom Holland, rumored wise, because there's some crazy shit out there for Secret Wars. And I mean, shit, we're free. We might do a Secret Wars, just breaking all that shit, all the stuff, because there's a lot of shit out there right now for Secret Wars. But one of the things is that Tom Holland, Spider-Man, is like, we already knew he's a main character, but Tom's, I guess, didn't play a major role, like a big role in not just Kang Dynasty, but Secret Wars itself too.
Shit, I heard Garfield, or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard Maguire was. Yeah, I heard
Maguire as well.
I heard Toby and Tom were, and I heard Hiddleston was too.
And now we just recently got that announcement that Sony is making all of their
Canon
stuff canon.
Yeah, well, my thing is, I saw
a
a leak today that said they thought about making He Who Remains a Loki variant.
And
so,
did you
like,
see what I posted on?
Yeah.
So
it's like,
that
you remember the other day when you asked, like, is Loki gonna be the Molecule Man? It's like, are they gonna do that shit? All right, because I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel like he's gonna. I saw something that he's gonna have a bigger role in Secret Wars and everything, just because. I don't think they're gonna do a season 3 of Loki, and I don't think this is how they're gonna send him off or anything. So they'll give him, since he's been around, his little big ass exit.
Yeah. I don't know. D Stizzle said, "Comic Natasha talks with a Russian accent like Peter." Who? Is this a real person? But yeah, no. Natasha talks with a Russian accent. Let's see. So Yuri G said, the only character I give a pass for not always having an accent all the time is Natasha, because she's more of a spy, even though she's an Avenger. It makes sense. Yeah. Blues House said, Storm doesn't need an African accent. She's a New Yorker. Hungry Almighty said, Star Wars without lightsabers is like you telling someone not to expect Godzilla versus another Kaiju in another Godzilla film. LOL. Every Godzilla movie is him fighting I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, but Kaiju. No. Yeah, I mean, I already went on my tangent about that shit when and yes, I know he did Rogue One, and Rogue One is brilliant. I love Rogue One, but I mean, I didn't watch Andor either, so I can't really. I watched the first episode. Omega said, is it true Tom Holland wants to quit Spider-Man? No. Tom Holland doesn't want his identity in Hollywood to be Spider-Man. But that ship has sailed. But he's also
yeah, like
that ship has sailed.
Well past that.
But he's
Tom. I think the way it should be interpreted is Tom doesn't want to spend his whole career playing Spider-Man. Like, he wants to have other prolific roles and everything. He doesn't just want to be remembered as Spider. Like, remember Chadwick as Jackie Robinson and T'Challa and James Brown and whatever else he did and everything. So I think Tom Holland just wants to not get all old as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Gray said, oh no, read that one, sorry. Hungry said, I don't want to get my hopes up, but damn, I hope what My Time to Shine Hello said about a new T'Challa is, and the reboot is true. You know, like I said, I'm going to talk about all that tomorrow, dive into some of that stuff. But yeah, we'll chat. Stamina says, Star Wars is a whole There need to be saber wielders in every title ever. Might as well just be a district of cities. It's all gonna be the same shit. No, that's what I said. I don't have to have lightsabers in Star Wars because I didn't have them in Rogue One, and Rogue One is one of my favorite Star Wars films. Vader popping up, that was a shock as fuck to me. I didn't know that shit was happening. I mean, I knew he was in the trailers, but I didn't know that final scene was happening. So, like, I don't have to. There's no lightsabers in the first season of The Mandalore until you see the Darksaber. But I don't have to have it. I just need it to be Star Wars. And if it's not Star Wars, I don't want to watch it.
Same way with everything.
Yeah.
Grace said Tom need to pick better roles outside of Spider-Man. That's true though.
That is true.
Need to be in damn
Charlie
Cherry and
Charlie Chaplin.
yeah, no, he definitely. That's the thing. Yeah. Shit, that's pretty much it from what I'm seeing. Omega said, Darius, and this time I will watch everything Marvel will deliver, whether good or bad, because in the end of the day, they managed to give a good reboot, unlike DC, who keeps rebooting itself without endings.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just sick of James Gunn. He talks too damn much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like already,
Yeah.
like we've talked about, I mean, I know it's not a topic, but shit, who's staying, who's not, is anyone, is... That drama already before the universe starts is just like fuck.
That's crazy.
It's fuck. And I know the report came out that nobody's staying, but then you get Jason Momoa going as another role, so it's like I don't know if that counts or we're getting Viola Davis is staying, we're getting John Cena staying, and so it's like shit. I mean, as much as me and you did want Viola to stay, it's like if those two can, why the fuck can't? I mean, so that's just the argument, but I don't want to talk about fucking DC today.
Yeah, so I was like thinking, I was like, do I even want to talk about him talking about no one staying, even though it was like a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, a week ago maybe. But
well, my thing is like, it just doesn't. It does matter, but it doesn't, because until we see Superman, we don't. I know nobody gives a fuck about DC. That's when we're gonna start judging this shit for real after that movie. Another thing I don't understand is why is she getting her own series before Superman comes out?
Who's getting?
She's getting.
Oh, Waller?
Yeah, Waller. That series is coming out before Superman.
Maybe it ties in.
I mean, not maybe. It probably does, but.
I mean, if we've got all the people that they say that are going to be in Legacy, it's a shit ton of characters.
Yeah.
In Legacy.
That nigga's trying to fast track this shit.
Yeah, that's a shit ton of characters. You know, I said I wanted to stab it, but they got all that shit.
I wanted a Justice League, but these niggas took it too literal.
I wanted the first, the original Cartoon Network when they got unlimited. They got everybody. But yeah, we'll have to, like you said, we'll have to wait to see and judge it off of Legacy.
And as we get closer, I'm sure we'll talk about it more. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not excited for DC shit until the Joker 2. That's not even connected to shit. So
it's not. When is that?
2024 next October, I want to say. Maybe earlier, but I want to say next October. It's coming up quick, to be honest. Because I remember, like, last year, or like, damn, 2024, and now we're in here. It's a year away.
Yeah, that's true. All right, next thing we'll jump in here, talk about is going to be, so about 5 years ago, Netflix announced that they were going to do the live-action ATLA. And it caused mixed feelings to a lot of fans. It caused mixed feelings, one, because... sorry. But it caused mixed feelings, one, because, the already existing live action movie that was out there from M. Night, and how awful that adaptation of Avatar is, of ATLA is. So there was a lot of mixed feelings from a lot of fans out there about, was this going to be a good, is this going to be a good live action adaptation, you know? And then I think it eased a lot of fans' minds with how good. I didn't watch it. I know people that did watch it though. But it eased a lot of people's minds. I saw the statistics out there for it and everything like that, but how good One Piece was, and with their adaptation of One Piece and it being to people's standards, for some people it being to some of their standards and things, but they were wanting it to be, or accepting what it is and whatever, it eased a lot of people's minds that maybe, you know, Netflix can handle more live action adaptations like that. And we do know that when it comes to, you know, Netflix's series, maybe not their original movies, but their original series, they always hit. Netflix always comes in and hits on their original series. They have so many that I constantly tune into. So, you know, and we talked about the announcement of the cast a while back. We looked at the set photos and etc. We talked about some of the things that, even though this is not connected with Avatar Studios, we talked about some of the things going on over there with Avatar Studios, and everything like that. And you know, but they just recently, I forget what the con was called, or the geek something, but they just recently released a few of the pictures for what's going on with Avatar. So I will show that here. This is from Screen Rant, and they've got a picture here of Fire Lord Ozai. And then they even, this was something I was, can I make these pictures bigger? There we go. That did not make it bigger. Damn. How do you zoom? They said that, I mean, I clicked on this thinking that it was going to make these damn pictures bigger. And it didn't. Anyway, you can't really see it on here. Let me see if I can find a different picture really quick. See if I can find one. Okay. It's a little better. It's a little better.
It's not on screen though.
Okay. So you can kind of see it a little bit better, but they actually, you know, that was something I was wondering how they were going to translate, because again, it looked terrible in M. Nights, but how they were going to translate Zuko's scar and everything there. Then we've got Commander Zhao here. This is dude. Everybody always talks about him from playing in I think he played in. I know he played in Rush Hour. He played in Fast and Furious too, but I know he played in Inhumans. But he's gonna be playing Commander Zhao. Then where's those? Why only those two? And then you've got Uncle Iroh. And then we've also got Azula. And they changed Azula. Well, they didn't change her, but it, you know, it's not, everything's not going to be series, but she still looks good. And we have already seen what Aang and Fire Lord Ozai looks real good. We've already seen what Aang, Katara, Sokka, and all of them look like. And they are, you know, from what we know about the casting and everything like that, they are doing. They are really trying to build this like the original series. You know, the many face god. They've even casted the many face god. They've casted the I forget the panda god's name. They've casted that. They've even casted the cabbage guy, the guy that's always losing his cabbages and shit. They are really doing an in-depth dive into the world of ATLA. And, I've talked about this many times. I've said it many times. Avatar, the series started when, in 2005, I was in 6th grade. It concluded when I was in the 8th. And I was week to week, season to season watching this, and this show when it was released on Netflix and rewatched. It is timeless. It is something that I just rewatched it actually, because I've had nothing but time, so I just rewatched it recently, and again, it is still timeless. So I really love this show, and if they can stay true to the spirit of the original show, and the script is good, and from what we've seen about from the sets, the practical sets that they've built, and now these other pictures on top of the Aang pictures and everything, I think it's in good hands. It's not going to be like M. Night. So, did you watch Avatar?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I've watched it.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I need to rewatch it, to be honest. I was gonna say, I'm not like anticipating it or excited for it because I'm not the biggest fan or anything, but from all the live action things that have been coming out, most of them have been good from what I've been hearing and everything. So hopefully they stay on track and, like you said, they stay true to the spirit. But
yeah, it's
just hard sometimes bringing animated things to live action with tempo and even the looks and everything, and just transitioning from scene to scene of. Especially with a franchise that has so many characters, there's going to be critiques and complaints and shit. So
right.
I know it's not going to be perfect in a sense, and like you said, I just hope they stay true, but I also hope that they, my fault, I got to sneeze, but I don't. I hope that they stay true to it, and then I hope that they also listen to fans if there are critiques and everything, and if fans are complaining about some stuff, just because the franchise fan base is huge. And they love the franchise, everything about characters, from the storyline to the characters to the way the characters look. And so, assuming we get more than one season and everything, I hope that they're able to listen to fans and they give us everything that we're looking forward to and everything.
Right. And see, for me, I'm being a really big fan of ATLA, and really looking forward to this adaptation of it. There's just so many things, like you said, as an animated show, there are animations that, can make you, really pull out on emotion. But ATLA did it a lot, and it's, you saw so much growth in so many different characters, but, there's the times that Iroh is singing about his son that has passed, that died in war, and then you've got when Aang lost Appa, and they're in the desert, and he goes into the Avatar state and crying and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's just so many different emotional scenes that connect, that just push the show for me over being just any old animation. It's not, it's not just. That's why I always say, if you're going to do a live action, if you're going to do more whatever with it, and that's why I love that the original creators are involved at Avatar Studios. Like, I just watched this recent interview he did, I forget his name, but the recent interview that he did talking about their involvement in the universe that they're building. It's not just a show, it's a universe now that they're building, and what that means, and all the, what that puts on him and all that. So he's, it's exciting to think about just that show has now turned into this massive universe story that they're trying to tell. So I'm excited for it, and I hope Netflix can knock their version out of the park. So, but as always, questions for you guys. Let us know down below what you guys are thinking. Were you an ATLA fan of the original animated show, or if not, did you watch it over the COVID break when it got put on Netflix in 2020? And if not, are you going to be watching the live action adaptation on Netflix? Did you watch the terrible Midnight show, or Midnight adaptation that originally came out? Let us know those things down below in the comments.
Johnny Washington said, the live action One Piece by far one of the greatest live action implementations, it shows you that following the source material is essential. Hope all these studios can learn from that.
Yeah, and see, I've heard a lot of good things about the live-action One Piece show.
D Steel said, looks better than expected. Hope this isn't ruined like Witcher was.
Yeah.
Gray said, they almost look like AI art, and I'm ready to see the action and dialogue.
Yeah, I'm really ready for it.
Chillmonger said, Katara's family isn't biracial, but did that relate/represent you in the way you were talking about before? No. Just because, like I said, I wasn't the biggest Avatar fan or anything. I mean, it's there, just not for me, if that makes sense.
Official AMG said, I want a Korra live action someday, but I'm scared they'll whitewash her or light wash her. She needs to be brown. See, I'm actually rewatching Korra currently. I'm not the biggest fan, but rewatching it. She gets her ass beat a lot as the Avatar. she does. I feel like I'll leave the room on some good shit, come back, and this bitch is him.
You ain't even gotta look, you just hear it.
But I like it better this time around than I did the first time watching it. Because that first time I was like, what is no.
Gray also said, are they going to take time to develop these characters? I mean, from what I've heard, like you said, they're wanting to do a whole universe and actually stay true to the story and everything. Yeah. So, I mean, I would think we get more than one season.
Yeah, because they got to do 3
Which
seasons.
would mean, hopefully, they do take the time to develop characters if we're getting more than one season.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to do 3. He's got to master Earth, Water, Fire. So, and I think book 1 is obviously water.
Hungry said, is this canon to the cartoon?
This is the cartoon, yes, retold.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm pretty sure it's just brought to live action. D Steel said, Avatar and Boondocks were the two surprised for different reasons. Animated shows in the 2000s for me.
Yeah.
Raymond said, I don't dislike Korra, but I think the issue with it is my same issue with Boruto, and that it's just not the same. It's not its predecessor, and I know that it's not fair, but it's hard to get into it. Korra got her ass beat a lot.
She did. And yeah, it's I don't. It's tough, man. Like, I don't know. And I can't say, like, there weren't times where Aang pissed me off, but especially when, he was trying to find a solution around just beating Fire Lord Ozai's ass. But I was just like, it's different. Like, there's times, like, bruh, like, okay, there's times where I feel like she, in the Avatar, like, I don't know, bro, it's just different. Like, when Aang goes in the Avatar state, especially when those sandbenders muzzled Appa, and he's like, you muzzled Appa? And then you hear that, all the, like, Avatar voices behind his voice saying that shit, and it's like, that shit, it's a different scary than when she goes into the Avatar state.
Chillspot said, I'm looking forward to the Avatar live action. It already looks better than the 2010 movie.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Just conversation. A man of culture said, Korra def better on a rewatch. My only problem is her stands always saying she better than Aang, and it's just subjective or objectively false.
And no, I do know that officially, AG, and I agree. That's why, when I think that's one of the things that threw me off from the very first, I know I love Aang way more, but I think that's one of the things that threw me off very first episode when she came out and was like, I am the Avatar, and she could already fire bend and water bend and earth, and I'm like,
Okay, Shuri.
yeah. I'm like, Sure did
What's the
take
girl's
Aang
name
a
in
long time.
Shang-Chi that shot the dragon down?
I forget her name.
Okay, new side character, okay.
Yeah, forget her name. Amanda Culture said Cora Def better on a rewatch. Yeah, it is better on this rewatch for sure. My only problem is her stands always saying she's better than Aang, and it's just objectively false. You know, that is very true. She is no Aang. She is no Aang, bro. No. And we're gonna even see more of Aang as the Avatar, but as an adult.
Darren Stamley said, Katie, she annoyed the shit out of me. That's, no, in Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah.
No,
okay.
annoyed the absolute, no hate. No, fuck that, nigga, I am hating. That shit was annoying. When that shit happened, I remember I deadass sat there and I was like, that's a shitty ass way to end this movie.
Goes back to what Trey said. Marvel can't do a third act to save their lives.
No, yeah. I mean, should have expected some shit like that.
He did. Remember what Trey got here and he said?
No, that was one of that nigga's first complaints. So one of my biggest complaints is I remember that's the first time we sat in here. Marvel does not know how to do an ending act. It's always the same old battle this, you win. The hero wins.
Yep. Oh, no, Hungry. I completely agree with you. Zuko was the best, in my opinion, too. Now, it's opinionated, but I agree, too. He is definitely the best character. You watch Zuko go from this annoying fucking... Like, I get why he was the way he was, but, like, spoiled, annoying, treating Iroh like shit, which didn't really stop till, like, a while into his transformation shit, but just like he was. And then you just watch him just go from that to completely, it's a complete character arc for him. Complete. But he's not the only one. Avatar does a good job with all their characters like that. You know, Azula, even, she's not just evil. There's a reason that she is the way she is. She's broken, and that comes from like their childhood and shit. It's damn good. Like, bruh, animated show being that damn good, that shit is dope. Love that show.
Raymond said Aang mastered all 4 events in the shortest time frame. I will die on that hill.
That's true. He only had 100 days?
Yeah.
Summer's End? He went 100 days.
No, Summer's End.
Yeah, Summer's End.
Profess the film fan said, I'm just glad that it's not being whitewashed.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Looks are one thing. I would say we got to get into it to see that first.
That's true, too.
But no, yeah, from the looks of it, it looks... I agree that some of them do look like AI pictures-ish, but I mean, I don't know if those are real backgrounds or if those are just characters that they put on AI backgrounds or some shit. So I don't know. But it looks good and everything. It just... I gotta wait till I see it, just because I'm not the big... That's what I'm honestly hoping, that this live action makes me want to go back and rewatch the shit or some shit. Yeah.
It's dope. Yeah. All right, let's see. Last thing we'll dive into here is Kevin Feige's most recent discussion here, talking about a few different things, but one of the main things here that we're discussing is the reboot, and this is coming from CBR and some of the things that Feige had to say. Let's see. We have a quote from Kevin Feige sort of implying that like Secret Wars will serve as a soft reboot in which they can prune everything. Robinson said during an appearance on the Watch podcast via Screen Rant, that's not to use a Loki-ism. They'll prune everything that's not working and just keep what is working, or bring back people you thought were gone forever. Screen Rant also noted that near the end of the MCU's reign of Marvel Studios, there is a passage that hints at a soft reboot for the MCU. It reads as follows: Feige had to learn different lessons from the comics, how superheroes periodically needed to be rebooted, how to stop variants and spin-offs from spiraling out of control, how an annual mega crossover event could unify a desperate line of characters. And it goes in to say Secret Wars will celebrate all past Marvel movies. This isn't the first time Avengers Secret Wars has been rumored to serve as the end of the MCU as fans currently know it. Trusted Scooper, can we get some toast? Previously stated that Secret Wars will serve as the send-off to not only the current MCU but all the Marvel movies that came before. Iron Man and the Ultimate soft reboot. The Scooper then suggested that Feige would pull inspiration from the all-new, all-different Marvel era. Yes, we know this. The next phase of the MCU, the ANADM branding, was used between 2015 and 2019 for Marvel's lineup of comic book sets after the 2015-2016 Secret Wars crossover event. Feige, hinted at the reboot, and this is something we've known. We've been talking about this when My Time and Can We Get Some Toast and all of these others came out and talked about the reboot and talked about Secret Wars and all the things that are to come with this. And again, I do really think we should do like I said, we've got time, so we should just do a stream talking Secret Wars and some of the leaks and things coming out there about that. But because like I said, there's a lot going on. But Feige hinting at that, saying that they're going to do a soft reboot, people coming back that that you thought were gone forever. And I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about Marvel taking a look back and looking at things that are working and things that are not working, and what they currently have on the table just is simply not working. And I think it goes into what we were saying about Monica too, with her staying on as Monica and exploring more of Photon in this next rebooted phase of Marvel, having the new Captain America, having the new Iron Man, and having these characters, these essential characters that are needed to tell some of these essential stories that haven't been told yet in this next phase and next sagas and things like that. So I really don't know what much we can say about the reboot that we haven't said about the reboot, because this is not the first time. This is the first time I want to say that the trades are really talking about a reboot, but this is not the first time that scoopers and YouTubers have talked about the reboot. The reboot has been on the table for what now? I want to say 2.5 months maybe. It's been discussed.
I mean, shit, the nigga wrote a book.
Yeah.
So I would assume we're not just hearing about this book like scoopers or inside people have read it or heard some things and stuff. So when we heard the things about a reboot and everything that's trending that way, I mean, there's just really no assumption. Was Endgame not really a soft reboot? Like, they just didn't classify it as that. Like, we moved into another phase, but they tried to bring in
That's true.
all these characters that we're getting to this next one too.
That's true. But see, the difference is with this one is they're looking at these characters they tried to bring in, like She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel, and regardless if you liked Ms. Marvel or not, Ms. Marvel, Hawkeye, and all, Kate Bishop and all them others that they've tried to bring in, it's not working, so now they're having to rely on familiar faces, and although those are going to be new actors, a new Tony Stark actor, a new Captain America actor, and again we'll talk about this tomorrow. My Time to Shine Hello did mention in a tweet that with a new reboot means a new T'Challa being casted and things like that. And again, until I see that, I hate to do this. I really, and I'm gonna dive into it more tomorrow. I'm not about to go into this now, but I hate to be the rain on the parade. The same way Monica, you've barely gotten time with Monica as Photon, and she's more than likely carrying over to being Monica in this soft rebooted MCU timeline. You've gotten no time with the hole they dug, and My Time to Shine Hello may be on, and it's rare that she's not. We could possibly be getting in this, and again, this could be one of those things too. We've talked about this. Again, I don't want to spend a lot of time, but we've talked about this. Yes, they dug a hole. Yes, they made their beds. They're trying to lay in it. But then again, it goes back to what I just said a few minutes ago. Maybe ears are to the ground. Maybe they're looking at the hole that they dug. Maybe they're looking at the bed that they're laying in, and they're looking and they're seeing that it's covered in fleas. It's covered in motherfuckers that ain't trying to come lay with them and watch any type of Wakanda shit that they're producing, because it doesn't involve the franchise's main character. So maybe they retracted on that. Maybe they had to bite the bullet on that and say, you know what? We do need to recast him. We do need to recast him, because we're looking at this, we're looking at that. You know, even though we've talked about this before, Comic Cave and a couple of other of those scooper inside news, Marvel news people out there put out that Marvel had, wanted Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and T'Challa's or Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa to be the three leaders. We've talked about that too. It's just funny. It's funny to me when some of these things we've talked about, and some people think that sometimes we're making some of this shit up. It comes full circle back around. We've talked about the reboot. That's why when all these Trey stuff talked about, I'm like, is this not old news? Is this not something we already knew? Like people when Comic Cave and those others were talking about the three Marvel originally, I was like, is this? We talked about this around Wakanda Forever time. Like what are we talking? So it's like all of that shit. It's. Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about more of that shit. Talk about more of the T'Challa stuff tomorrow. But maybe they did. Maybe it is them looking at a hole and saying, we got to fill that hole, and the only way to fill it is.
But that's the thing. It's like
T'Challa back.
That reboot even is 5-6 years away. If we get it, because we're not getting Secret Wars for 3-4 years and everything, and it's like even after that. Things are still getting pushed back. We don't know if they're going to take time off. We don't know anything. So it's like, we don't really know, like I said, and I may have been wrong on the aspect of saying that rebooting T'Challa isn't on their mind at all, because seeing all this, like you said, it may seem like they're rethinking of like biting that bullet of should they not and everything. So I may have been wrong in that aspect, but I still don't think if they do reboot, we're getting. I don't think we'll get T'Challa at the same time. We're getting the new Steve and new Cap and new everything like that. But it's like, even if we are going into I think with the reboot, are we not supposed to be going more all new, all different? And so it's like, not everything is gonna be original comic accurate how people are wanting it and shit. And so it's like, I don't know what the fuck to even expect. I don't know when to wait on it. I don't know when to anticipate it, but at the same time, it's like I don't mind any of it. Like I hate the fact that stuff gets out so early, because it's like even though we know a lot of the stuff that's coming up, it's like hearing, like you said, with the same thing with DC, hearing there's a reboot. Why are we interested in some of this stuff if it's not even gonna matter? Like it matters now for entertainment purposes, but it's like we eventually know we're getting a reboot 5-6 years. So
I saw Johnny said so I guess the Young Avengers team up is not happening. No, Young Avengers team up is still happening. It is still a go. There's still a plot. They still have within this multiversal saga, the Young Avengers still play a role. And we'll start seeing that role take shape in Agatha, which the plot synopsis for that has changed as well and come out.
It's not. I don't think it's a hard reboot either. Like,
no,
they're gonna lead into this next reboot and everything, and I still think we're getting everything with the Young Avengers, the West Coast Avengers. Still think whatever they're doing with Vision and Wanda, they're still gonna do. I really think it's more so about resetting some of this, not resetting, but just restarting a whole new story. It's like the way they did it now, they made it seem like this multiversal saga is still connected to the Infinity Saga and everything, which, it's cool, but in the same time, in the comics, those are two different sagas. Like, they have no correlation to each other, and so it's like, It's honestly just a little reset on the timeline button, I think. I don't think it's necessarily more character related like it is with DC, because casting isn't really necessarily the issue, I don't think. At least I haven't seen too many people complain about castings outside of Brie Larson, which, like we say, we never understood and everything like that. But it's like, why will we be getting all these new castings of, like you said, Miss Marvel, Monica, even Clea, even just some of the new people we're getting for them to just go reboot the whole thing when they know they're doing it.
Right.
So I don't know. It's like, but even saying that, if they're telling all these stories now, some of them might fucking matter. So
Yeah, no, that's why I said I don't think it's a hard reboot at all. I think it's definitely a soft reboot, and there are going to be events, and even the event. I think it's the thing that a lot of people are theorizing it to be. You know, whatever happens with Secret Wars and the Earth and everything like that, all the different Earths. This Earth will be whatever Earth it is going to be the prime Earth, and then there are going to be heroes that lost their Earth, lost their homes, lost their universe, whatever. They're going to stay, and they're just going to be the new whatever moving forward. And so I think that there are going to be stories that, you know, still get brought up from characters that were on the main timeline with the 616 universe that we've been in, you know, the Thanos' snap, all that, you know. But it'll be new characters and things also with different from their perspective universes, just moving on, telling all these different stories. So I think that I don't think it's a hard reboot at all. I think it's definitely soft reboot, and then boom. Who else you see there?
Raymond said, I made a theory in the Discord about the Council of Kangs probably playing the role the Builders played in the comics, and Kang Dynasty would take elements of Jonathan Hickman's Infinity, but I don't even know if Kang is happening at this point. Is there anything new on Jonathan Majors?
Oh, Kang is a go. They're definitely moving on with Kang as Jonathan Majors as Kang.
I mean, I'd be surprised if we don't see anything of Majors tomorrow in Loki's new episode.
Yeah. They said something recently about
whether it's him, Timely, whatever they do.
Yeah.
I expect to see him tomorrow. I mean, I won't be disappointed if I'm not, because there's still 3 more, which would mean from rumors he has to be in all 3 of those and everything, but I'm expecting to see him tomorrow.
Yeah, they said that I think it was the director said we haven't seen Kang in his full form or something.
Yeah. Oh, I guess they're saying his case is next week.
Okay.
I don't think they got shit to do with what's going on now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what they said about him, but I can't find it.
I didn't know that case was still going on.
Can't find it. But yeah. So we'll see more of Kang for sure.
It's likely to be dismissed. Yeah, that's what I thought. Stamina said Majors is up on screen tomorrow. It's all but confirmed. Yeah, I would just assume that he's there tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like you said, Kang is a go and everything, but even then, it's like, shit, how much do they plan on doing with him? You know, they gave us all the council and they gave us all the couple important ones and shit like that, but it's like, hearing they want to reboot and then just get to Deadpool and Cap and Secret War, how much or how deeper do they plan on digging into Kang actually?
I think, yeah, well, from what they've said about Kang recently, is that we're supposed to start seeing, obviously we should be, but supposed to start seeing him pop up in a lot of different projects.
My fault. Grace said he's saying that they're talking about his case, yada yada yada. Raymond said, I just reread Infinity, and given what we know about He Who Remains in the TVA, I just thought of the idea of them taking inspiration from the Builders, but I could be wrong. This isn't the comics.
Right.
I don't know. One thing I wanted to talk about is just with everything that Feige's been saying and everything, I don't necessarily expect bad things from Marvel from the next year. I mean, I don't know if we're getting What If, but I think the 3 are the movies that are coming out. We'll get the Marvels, then we'll get Deadpool, and then we get Cap. And like I was telling you, I think that's like the perfect 3 movies to restart, get everyone back on base and everything, because the Marvels, all you have to do, end it well, word of mouth, because it just needs to have people talking about it, of what's next, what does this do, what worlds is it, yada that. But it's like, once we get to Deadpool, I think that's like, I truly think that we're getting back to $1 billion movie and everything, just because people know this franchise was disconnected from the MCU, so them being fans of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and everything has nothing to do with how bad the MCU's been doing. Hugh Jackman will be there. Everything that's been... I don't think it's going to do bad. Then, like I told you, with everything that's been coming out about Captain America and with the stuff that leads up to it, just Red Hulk, knowing what's happening with the president, Secret Invasion, knowing we might get... Wherever they start, if they start build, they might start building the Avengers and the Marvels, and we'll start seeing some of that shit or something. So it's like, the plot points are good, but it goes back to, like I said earlier, it's just the execution has to be there, because when things are, it's like when you take a good thing and execute it poorly, it makes it look so poor. Like, there's no saving that shit. Like, if all I watched was LeBron go 0 for 30, I would think that nigga's ass. Like, there would be no, oh, that nigga has rings, one chip, best play. No, like, all I know is he going 0 for 30 every night. And so it's like, when something, like, so great starts executing poorly every time, it's like, you don't even remember the greatness like that. Even if it is, why the fuck do I want to go read the greatness in the comics if it's like, damn, they just brought this shit show to life? It's like, yeah, I can go read the comics, but I also have this ass story that's brought to screen in the back of my mind.
That's true, champ.
Raymond said, I doubt Deadpool will make $1 billion. What do you think?
Well, I think it's definitely going to make $1 billion. I think it's definitely going to make $1 billion. They're going to advertise the shit out of Deadpool. 1.
They already are.
That's 2. You're bringing back all the Fox characters. That has the appeal of all the Fox in it. First of all, X-Men. That right there alone is going to put asses in the seats. Word of mouth. Even if people don't go see it opening weekend, which I do think people are. Once the word of mouth gets out about what this film is and how crazy the film is and blah, 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 and it's actually good and da, 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 that's going to put more asses in the seats. Yeah. No, I definitely think it's
I think it'll make $1 billion simply because Marvel wants it to. Like, they know what they're doing. They know, like you said, so the advertisement will be there, but also Ryan Reynolds has his fandom and everything, and that's going to collide with people who are big fans of Hugh. And like they've already started advertising it with that video they released of both bringing Hugh in and everything and introducing that he's going to be in the movie. But also, it's like, I just start thinking about shit, and it's like everything's connected. When the movie comes out summertime, right? Or like right before summer next year?
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's right when the NBA finals, playoffs, everything is going to be happening. The advertisement's going to be there. The word of mouth is going to be there, because I genuinely don't think the movie's going to be bad. And so I know when I go see it, I'll probably tell other people. I'll probably see it more than once. And so it's like,
if it's good, for sure.
That's more than... I know I'm not the only one. There's people out there who are willing to pay to go see it more than once, even if it is going to see it for $4 the second time or anything like that. And so it's like, the money's there. It just has to... Then no, I don't think it has to do anything. I think it's going to make $1 billion.
I'm telling you. Yeah, no, I agree. I think so.
Stamina said Deadpool is the most likely contender to hit a Billy that damn near everything else on the schedule. It certainly should get there. If
Yeah.
Doctor Strange 2 could get so close, why can't Deadpool do better?
Yep.
No, exactly. Word of mouth is usually how movies make $1 billion. And yeah, no, I think it'll be there simply because, I mean, if that shit is true of Taylor Swift being in it, I really don't think it's a question.
There's another factor.
I really don't think it's a question.
Now you're going to have all the crazy Swifties. And here's the thing, too. Do you think if you put Taylor Swift as Dazzler, we know, okay, come on, we know about the character Dazzler. You think you put the character Dazzler in a Deadpool film and it's Taylor Swift, you don't think there's going to be a musical number? Now that's out to her fandom, the Swifties. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it'll. I don't think it's a question really. Cornelius said Deadpool made nearly $800 million in 2016, and Logan made over $600 million in 2017. So it'll hit. And this will sound dumb, but the classic Wolverine suit will draw. No, it will.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound dumb at all. It's that nostalgia, and that's what fans are here for.
Yeah,
like,
people want to see that.
doesn't
Hugh
sound
Jackman
dumb
is
at all.
going to draw people in. He hasn't been Wolverine since Logan. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is going to draw people in. And if it is true about, not if it is true, but with it being true about all these, Suri McKellen and Patrick Stewart and Halle Berry and everybody else coming back as the original X-Men, telling you. And the thing is, the reason that they are putting so much emphasis on Deadpool is because they know, Marvel themselves know what they have. They know what they have. They knew what they had with No Way Home. They know what they have with this too.
What do you think about Showmonger saying Dazzler should be advertised, not a surprise cameo?
I think they are advertising Dazzler.
You think that being at the game and everything was the start of it, and they're just going to do more? I don't know. That's a good question, because I don't know which one is like in the world of leaks and everything, I feel like if she is in the movie a month before where it's going to get out. And so I feel like you might as well advertise it if that's the case. But I mean, if you can keep it hidden from fans and opening night, fans go, and even I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but I know the correlation with Dazzler and everything, and I know the correlation to the story, and so it's just entertaining and exciting from that point. Also knowing that Feige's getting something he's wanted from the start of everything,
Right.
So just knowing that Feige wants it and everyone there wants it, and that Reynolds has control of lines and everything, I think it'll be entertaining from that aspect. But it's like, do you think that the reaction is bigger if it's a surprise, or do you think the reaction is better if it's like, oh, let's drop this trailer or poster of Dazzler character or whatever, and then it's like fans know, and that gets more seats there on opening night?
I think what you do is like, maybe you can put it in the trailer, but don't show Taylor. Like, you know how they do shots where like it's like if she's in that white suit with the hanging, like you can show that or something, like from the back angle, and maybe under her arm or something with it hanging, you can see Deadpool and whoever the hell he's with, maybe somebody from TVA, Hugh and whatever. But maybe you can hear a song, hear her singing, but I don't think you show, like, tease it, but don't show it. Don't show it till you sit down in theater. Do the whole fucking thing that Feige hated they did with Multiverse of Madness when you saw Professor X's chair, like that.
And the show's response was, so how are you supposed to get Swifties to buy tickets? And that's the thing. If they hear by surprise on opening night that Taylor Swift is in there, in the film and everything, they're going to go regardless. Whether there's a lead up to it or a surprise drop, that fan base is big enough to where
right
niggas is taking over a football league right now.
And pissing football fans off. Like, no, it's that's the thing too, that it doesn't have to be opening weekend. Yeah, you want it to be opening weekend, that'd be great. But the goal is it gonna? The question was, is it gonna hit $1 billion? And is it gonna hit $1 billion opening weekend? No. But is it gonna hit $1 billion over? Yeah, I think so. And again, like you just said, once the word of mouth, once it gets out that Swiftie fans or the Swifties are hearing about, their idol being in a Marvel film, and she's singing, and she's a superhero, they're going to want to see that. I saw somebody say, well, Cats didn't do good and she was in that. Well, Cats was terrible altogether. But we're talking about Deadpool.
This is Marvel.
Yeah,
Deadpool.
Yeah, we're talking about Deadpool.
Cornelius said, hopefully it's the second wave word of mouth so they don't buy up all the seats in the first weekend.
Yeah, that too.
D. Steele said she'll just be singing probably. She's not a real actress. Wouldn't want her for a legit X-Men film, though. Long shot with Dazzler and the Mojoverse would be dope.
Nope, and I agree with that too. I don't think it's no B Bird, no. I don't think that she's gonna be long term Dazzler at all. I think it is honestly just for
the universe. Comes in.
Yeah.
I don't even think she's gonna be. I think she'll be more performance-y than superhero.
For sure.
I'm not expecting to see Dazzler in any action or any prolific action or combat scenes like that or anything. I'm expecting it to be something Foggy wanted, fan service, and just something fun. Like,
I'm sure he might, I don't know. It is because, they asked him, what's a solo film he's always wanted to do? Dazzler. So if let's break that down. A solo film he's wanted to do. Yes, he's now got Taylor Swift as Dazzler, if that is true. Let's assume it is. Taylor Swift as Dazzler. So he's got the character he's wanted in there. I don't think she would just do a musical number, though. I'm not saying that she's about to have this whole ass action scene, but I think there would be a scene involved with the rest of whoever the fuck is with Deadpool and whatever they stumbled upon, to where she might aid a hand in fighting some whatever before they... Because I think they're just going to stumble into whatever universe she's in.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen, I think. And I think that, you probably do have her showcase her power.
Like, dead ass on some fucking Tom Holland meeting Captain Marvel shit of, hey, Peter, hey, Parker. That's dead ass how it's going. They're just going to stumble into her, running away from some shit, or getting thrown through the multiverse or some shit, and she's, hey, Deadpool, who are you? Or some shit like that. And so, I don't know. I think one of the bigger draws for Deadpool is knowing that the TVA is going to be a prominent part in the movie and everything. Just knowing that this movie is or this show that we're getting right now is even connecting more to it and everything.
Yeah. But see, Deadpool 3 is going to, it is going to have a lot of cameos. A lot of people keep saying that. It is. Yes. But these cameos they play a purpose. Like, this isn't
fan service cameo. Like, no. It is, but it's not the goal. Right. These are cameos that tie into a story. This is Infinity War Endgame on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Those cameos played a role. All these characters are meant to be interacting with each other to push a narrative forward. Like, it's not just... Right. Oh, hey, what are you doing? I'm going to kill... like how that Multiverse of Madness shit, how they were in there to die. Definitely not just expecting that in Deadpool. I mean,
no.
I'm expecting some people to die, some people to live, but I'm not expecting, 30 seconds of screen time and you're getting turned to spaghetti.
Yeah, because, if we're to believe these same rumors, a lot of these faces in Deadpool are going to be in Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty. So these are going to be pivotal roles, and from again what we understand about this film is it is a pivotal film in what is being told. So, and maybe even what we see at the end of Loki might even hint some more into that, just because of TVA's connection with Deadpool and everything.
Hunger said, add in the fact that we might see variant Wolvies played by different actors. It's definitely making $1 billion.
Yeah, that too. That too.
Xavier said, I expect her to be a cameo with a song sequence and not much more than that.
I'm telling you, I do expect the sequence, but I do expect her to showcase her power.
Chill said, Taylor's Marvel song would chart higher than Rihanna's. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nobody listening to that
Depressing
sad
ass
yeah.
funeral march song.
Hungry said, here's the problem. At least with No Way Home, Toby and Andrew progressed. Tom, a character fans are truly invested in. The Secret Wars cameos, who will they develop that fans care about?
Well,
see, is Secret Wars about... I mean, I guess it is for some of them, and some of them it isn't, but I would think developing those characters is more, or should be more included in things leading up to Secret Wars.
yeah.
I think maybe in Secret Wars, or we get Kang's Dynasty first, I guess. So I guess in Kang's Dynasty, I think maybe that's when everyone should really start interacting and building a relationship. Not saying Sam and Banner don't have a relationship prior, but I think that's when, like, we should get that Infinity War vibe of everyone starts coming together and everyone starts interacting and shit like that.
Right. I agree.
D. Steezel said, in the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, Peter Quill had a Dazzler poster in his room. That was a nice comic node.
Nice.
Cornelius said, can't wait to fill my module case with all these characters coming in. Sad SMH. Andre said, my time to shine, hello, posted on Twitter. Taylor Swift isn't Dazzler, but she's in the movie.
Well, you know, she's rarely wrong. I mean, can't argue with somebody that's, you know... I mean, shit, it's not like I have any inside sources telling me different. I'm just going off rumors, and if she's somebody I always go off of and she says she's not, well, shit.
Hey, I guess I'll just have to see for myself.
Yeah.
Omega said, I think Secret Wars should be 2 movies and Kang Dynasty 2 movies too. I mean, we've talked about Secret Wars being 2 parts, but I just think there needs to be more Avengers films leading up to those. I don't think Kang's Dynasty should be the first Avengers movie before Secret Wars.
Because that would be the next time we see them, the team, just to watch them lose again.
Yeah.
Because they would lose again. That would be,
that is the point of Kang's Dynasty, I would
Yeah.
assume. Like, I would assume the nigga in his dynasty ain't losing.
Yeah, so... Yeah.
Thing is, I don't know. It's just... I guess we got to see how they build out this Avengers roster, because I guess that's really the biggest question in the universe right now. Who are the Avengers? Where are they? Are there 2 teams, or what are they doing? So I think that's just what needs to be established before we go anywhere else with, because it's like, I don't think, I mean, are we considering Captain America 4 an Avengers film?
I kind of low-key somewhat am. If he's assembling a small Avengers team, and I would assume some of these, I don't know, some of these members may go on to whoever these members are. I don't even know who these members would be.
And that's what that was my next question. Have
Would
we
they
heard
be?
anything on who
No.
he's assembling?
No, nothing. Nothing since the whole he's even assembling a small team. So, I have no idea. But I would assume, I would consider it that if the threat is as large as what, you know, they claim it's supposed to be, and they're putting so much emphasis on Cap 4, being that, you know, what we heard it from Ona way back then, it being a paranoid thriller and all that shit. So, I'd assume so. I would assume I would consider it to be
Yeah.
like a civil war.
B. Bird said, where does the Fantastic Four fit into all of this?
What did Omni-Man tell Invincible? That's the cool part. They don't. Yeah, they don't.
Literally, like,
I mean,
it seems as if it's like they don't want to fuck this shit up so bad, but they seemingly can't get it right, so they keep putting it off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even. Matt Shackman said they're going to start shooting here soon, which implies they already have their cast. So I'd assume they're going to announce that here soon as well. Yeah, I mean, they don't. That film comes out before King Dynasty. So, in there, I don't assume that they're going to be cameoing in anything before King Dynasty. So we're not going to see them until their film. And then we're going to have them. I mean, we really aren't going to get a good grasp on the Fantastic Four until the next. So
you don't think they have anything to do with Secret Wars?
No, I think they do. I think they'll play a big part. But,
They or Reed?
Well, I mean Reed, but... I mean, yeah. I mean, and from what we saw in the rumors too, they already have Franklin and Valeria, so
yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
My fault. Cornelius said, so some other YouTubers are saying Quantumania Kang wasn't the Conqueror and we have yet to see Conqueror Kang, but I don't know if that aligns. I think they just messed up by nerfing him. I think that was Conqueror Kang, just at a different point in time, and I think him losing, they think him dying or whatever is a big plot and him coming back or whatever.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at what they're saying there.
No, you're... Let me see. Hungry said, Anthony Mackie just doesn't have the charisma to carry a film by himself. He needs characters like Winter Soldier in the movie with him. I mean, that's the point of Cap 4. Maybe they know that. Maybe the producers know, and we'd fuck Cap's name up throwing Anthony Mackie out there by himself. So maybe this needs to be a cameo fest as well. In which the actors they've brought in are... fuck the roles they're playing. They've brought in solid ass actors for that movie.
Yeah. They have. I haven't heard anything about Cap 4 in a minute, but from one of the things that I do remember from the late rumors, there's like 5 villains in this.
Yep.
So yeah, I would assume you need an Avengers team to take them out because a powerless Captain America's not. I don't care. I hate people telling me, well, his suit's vibranium. Ain't a superpower.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a superpower.
And neither is the shield.
Yeah.
Official MG said, with the way the Marvels ends, Carol should assemble the Avengers. Spoiler, she's back on Earth. So the Avengers are being assembled before Cap. Which would be... interesting, which would make more sense to me because Carol, in my opinion, has more draw of a name power as Carol than...
I mean, well, she was already going to be one of the leaders anyway.
But that's my thing. It would just seem more likely that happens than Mackie built. But then again, that goes back to what I said earlier. We don't know if that team has any correlation to the thing in Captain America, I feel like, because we don't know if Cap's building his own little team and we're going to have 2 different sides of it going at, because we read the Kang's Dynasty leaks and it's like they're going to have 2 separate teams.
The teams they had fighting the different Kangs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not only that, even in Marvel Comics, there are different fractions of the Avengers. There are different... You've got the West Coast, you got them all. You've got all these different teams of the Avengers because, there are times where the Avengers teams are really small. There are times when there's like 50, 60, 100 of them.
Iron Man's with the Illuminati. There's time. Yeah, there's the Young Avengers for different,
exactly. So there's going to be, I feel like
universe
there's
is
going to be
big.
different teams running around. I mean, from what we've read in leaks anyway, there will be different teams running around.
Hungry also said that Seth Rollins and World Heavyweight Champ right now, Sam Wilson, Cap versus World Champ. You can easily see Seth with title and red carpets and stuff. That is another thing. I forgot they have that draw. He's supposed to be some member of whatever they're doing in there. So they're trying to bring in just cameos and names from other universe, or not just fan bases and stuff like that, just to give people a draw and stuff.
Yeah.
Raymond said, Cap 4 is a Hulk sequel. You can have a vibranium suit and still die. Ask Killmonger and T'Challa. And the Dora Milaje that Killmonger killed. And T'Chaka. And Ramonda. And everyone else. That's my thing. I guess I'd say the uniqueness about that nigga is the way that he's able to use his suit and the shield combined and everything. That would be the uniqueness and his power of everything. Being able to fly and have the shield and all the little extra tech that they've built into the suit and everything with Red Wing and the
suit.
You said what?
Hope they modified it.
Is it not supposed to have Stark tech in the next movie?
No. I mean, like...
Oh, how it looks?
The MCU in general. I don't, like, up close on him.
They did. They changed it. You don't remember we talked about that?
Oh, did they?
We talked about that because there's a new set leak or whatever, and fans were like, well, then why was the new suit brought in because they brought it in the last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and they're like, so why was a new suit brought in? So we're thinking he'll have multiple suits in the movie.
That's right.
Or he'll get his ass beat and end up needing to do one or some shit. Let's see. Raymond also said Cap 4 is really going to be about Sam not taking pictures with the kids. Hungry Almighty said Vibranium is not invincible. Black Panther can lose to Hulk, Thor, Spider-Man, etc.
Gray said Sam going to be calling people just to get
hung up on. Hell no. B-Bird said Captain Marvel assembling the Avengers over Falcon America. Shambles if that happens. But I don't know. That's the thing. We don't know if it's going to be I don't know. I don't know how to look at it. And maybe that's one of the exciting aspects to look at it from. We don't know what the fuck is going to happen.
Yeah. Sizzle says Sam needs a girlfriend. To be fair, while leading the team, even Steve doesn't lay the smackdown on OP foes.
Raymond said Sam better get some health insurance.
Sam's in trouble. And, as far as it being a sequel, a Hulk sequel, Hulk's supposed to be getting his own solo film according to My Time to Shine Hello. And I'm just thinking to myself, is this happening before King Dynasty?
That's the thing. We know he's supposed to She-Hulk or whatever. I would assume that would be the start of Sam's team with Banner, Hulk, whatever they're doing with Scar and everything.
I've got a cousin and a son.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, it's like...
And that's exactly how he said
how the fuck are they going to bring them in and then take Hulk and do his own little movie and everything? But like I said earlier, if it's done right and plugged right after, let's say they do it, let's say that's what they're planning on doing just sometime shortly after Captain America. If it's done right, that's what we were asking for. But, I mean, at least in my opinion, we fans have asked for that World War Hulk done right and everything. But if it's done shitty, well, that's going to lose a lot of faith. Because we're already done with this Professor Hulk bullshit that we've been getting. Honestly think Ruffalo's losing a lot of fans as Hulk because of this shit. I don't think kids enjoy it like that. We don't enjoy it. I don't know who enjoys that shit.
No.
Cornelius said these scoopers just be guessing. Which one? Official MG said, y'all saw a movie about a brainwashed soldier and said she's boring. I mean, she don't know her life and most soldiers don't have personality, but I digress.
Who said Carol's boring?
Hungry Almighty said Captain Marvel versus Captain America Sam battled if the captains of uncharismatic and boring.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. It's an opinion. I think the first movie was boring, but I still stand by. I think She-Hulk was ass, but I never minded Tatiana. I didn't think Captain Marvel, the first movie, was ass, but I've never minded Brie Larson. I never minded her little lines in Endgame or anything like that. I mean,
No.
I don't really see the big issue. Like, we get corny shit like that from every character. Like, if you want to think about it, that shit from Steve Rogers, that I can do this all day, and that shit's corny, but niggas loved it. Like,
Cornelius said he thinks it's her lack of presence.
in terms of what?
I guess it's the character, maybe. I mean, you know, they already said she's disillusioned with being the character. You know, I don't know.
D Steele said MCU Carol is boring. Comic Carol is always cool. But is that a Brie Larson thing or a writing thing?
To it. He really beat me to that. Because I was gonna say she's much different in the comics.
Yeah. But that's my thing. Is it a Brie Larson thing, we think, after some of the things we've heard, or do we think it's a writing thing or a both thing, or a she hasn't been in many things, so maybe she really doesn't feel included in the universe.
I think, you know what, and I really think that's it. I think it's the lack of time spent with Brie Larson's Carol Danvers, because she was barely in Endgame. Yeah, she's at the beginning of Endgame. Shows up at the end. You know, we didn't get a lot of time to spend with Carol.
I mean, would you want to play a character that you feel like the whole universe is shitting on you as a person, and
That too. That's
you're
what I'm
really
saying.
like
That's what I'm saying.
the only person that's getting shit on? Like, I can't really think of any other Marvel character that's been given the hate that Brie Larson has. Not like we've given Mark Ruffalo hate as Hulk. Like, Brie Larson get personal hate. Like,
She does.
I don't know
It's
if any
really
other
not.
character has really gotten that. So it's like, shit, why would she enjoy the role?
Yeah.
Chill said, stop. Brie Larson advocated for racial equality and she's hated. It is not complicated. I mean, we know that's an aspect of it. The people who are the little woke people on Twitter, and the feminism aspect, and the just corny niggas who hate on shit like that. But I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with anything leading up to this movie. I think a lot of the hate I've seen is just genuine Brie Larson. No one's interested. We don't care about her. That type of shit. Like,
I mean, the girl just.
I mean,
said
maybe that's what it
herself.
stemmed from.
Yeah, I mean, the dude said from what she said, you know, she's disillusioned. I mean, that's from her mouth. Nobody put that words in Brie's mouth. She said that. And she's been made to feel that way.
B. Bird said, I agree it's her lack of conviction in her appearances. She just needs to be written better, in my opinion. That's my thing. I mean, but another thing I can say that I complained about is that she wasn't given much interaction with other characters for her to just come in and save the day how she did in Endgame. But like I've also said, I don't think that's her fault. That just has to do with... And the more I look back on it and the more I see some people complain and not really like for the bad thing of it, they're just bringing up points. It's like the Russos did take a lot of the characters that they had in Infinity War and Endgame and write them differently than what the plots were going on. Like the shit with all the Guardians and everything, there's some shit written differently that they did that James Gunn had no control over, didn't approve of. And so I just think that, I don't know. I just think that we need to get... It's hard to say that because we're in such a shitty-ass phase right now, but it's like we need to get past it, but it's hard to do that when this is the next up-and-coming movie in a shitty part of where we're at right now. It's like, it's a natural state to just bring more hate to it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I agree with Stamina, or what Stamina said. I agree with what he said when he said mofos feel way too strong about her. I've really never understood it, but, you know, it's not something I mean, I don't hate her, so I don't try to understand it, I guess. I've never really understood it, though, but they do. People feel way too strongly about her as Captain Marvel.
Omega said, I never got to see Peter interact a lot more with Steve and T'Challa. And that's the thing. I just hope leading up to this, we don't get a bunch of just small random interactions. They need to build up some of the character relationships, not just the characters themselves, but the relationships with others.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you just bring a bunch of characters together, it's going to be... I don't think... Because a lot of the shit we saw in the first phase, second phase, when the characters interacted, they weren't like random. These characters are actually interacting with each other, having fun and everything on set like that. And so I just think they need to get back to that, of having actual meaningful cameos. That's not just fan service. Let's have cameos that progress the story and shit like that.
Right. Agree.
Hungry said, Brie and the guy from Shang-Chi, maybe it's just me, both feel so uncharismatic.
I really like Sumu Lee.
Official said, funny how all the black men on the MCU support her, even Chadwick, but not the other Avengers.
Support Brie.
Raymond said, it wasn't the Russos. The credit really goes to Marcus and McFeely. They wrote T'Challa, Spider-Man, and Carol perfectly.
Marcus and McFeely.
D. Steele said, Carol's origins were botched just like Monica's.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these characters were in the MCU that we've gotten now.
That is very true also.
Hungry said, there's a lot of characters I wish the MCU did better. Like, have you ever seen EMH Hawkeye? Earth's Mightiest Heroes Hawkeye? He's way better than MCU version, and the relationship he has with Hulk is funny.
Yeah, I still need to watch Earth's Mightiest.
Cornelius said they focused more on Wanda than Carol. I mean, given it was her showing it, and that's my thing. I feel like Carol should have been like more meaningful in her cameos and everything. And like maybe in Shang-Chi, like her being there and that end cameo making it seem like she had to get the team together, she was curious about the rings or whatever.
Right.
That's a meaningful cameo. I mean, as forgettable as it is just because we've gone through some shit. We've talked it's hard to remember the good.
Forget about it.
But that being there, I mean, hopefully when we get to some forward things, it's able to go back and rewatch that like, oh, this is where this started or some shit. Like, this is where they started building the team because we know Shang-Chi's going to be in one of them or the team or whatever. So it's like, there's definitely shit there. We've all talked about it. The writing needs to be better.
Yeah. Simon said writing is a part of it, but the actors and directors still have to decide on how to play those words on the page. Lots of room for interpretation.
Cornelius said, here's an idea. Instead of an Agatha show, why not have a Carol series?
They have to really think, too, on these series. Spend a lot of money on these series, and the viewership is just not there. You got to think, who's gonna draw attention? I'd agree with you. I don't think Agatha is either.
Stamina said, writing is a part of it, but the actors and directors still have to decide on how to play those words on the page. Lots of room for interpretation. Hey. Ain't that it? Hungry said, our Earth's Mightiest Heroes went full comic accurate by having the Avengers start off as Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then later having Captain America. That's all I ask from Marvel. Source material.
Yeah. Something they do.
Cornelius said, does sex appeal play a part? Like, if Scarlet was or Captain Marvel, would they hate her the same?
Scarlet was Captain Marvel.
It's a good question.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with the hate, but I think it has something to do with the fan size. I think not necessarily maybe part sex appeal, but part of just Elizabeth Olsen. So many people think she looks good. I think that's just a part of her fandom. And maybe that's not why. But I don't shit. Does Brie Larson not look good? Like shit.
Right.
I mean, I guess Brie Larson ain't got sex appeal, but I ain't never looked at Elizabeth Olsen playing Wanda and been like, damn, nigga, like I'm lit right now.
Me either. But
Like-
you know who has?
Let me hear it. I feel like I know. But like,
You probably know who I'm about to say, and I hope you are one of the 39 viewers.
hopefully one of the 40 niggas in here.
That dumbass Chase.
Oh, I mean that's
He thinks.
That
but then again,
That-
that's coming
hey.
from a weird ass nigga. So
that's what virgins do. I'll say it. That is what virgins do. They fantasize sex appeal with with fictional characters. That is, I think I'll admit when I was a kid, my first crush was Starfire. I will admit that. Like
mine was
nigga, like my first crush was a fictional character. I was like, damn, nigga, she's bad. Like then I started looking at real bitches, and I'm like, oh, nigga, this shit real. Like, fuck the fictional shit. But it's like once, and that's in WandaVision when she was in her original, the comic accurate Halloween costume. When I was like, damn, nigga, she looked good in that shit. But I've like never watched. I don't really watch Marvel characters, and I'm like, damn, nigga, this got sex appeal or shit like that. Like, if anything, I'd rather keep that shit out of it unless, like, the love aspect has something to do with the plot, like a Fantastic Four family story. Doctor Strange and, I mean, I would more prefer Clea, but I get, because that's comic, but I mean, even the Christine shit, it's like, when that has something to do with the story, and it's like, big reason someone's doing something, it's okay, but like I don't really like watch TV or shit like that for like the sex appeal aspect.
I think my first crush, not animated.
I'm telling you, officially I'm saying you're real for that. Starfire, like Starfire, no, top 5. Shit, Starfire and Raven, nigga. I was watching Teen Titans lit.
I think my first, I don't know. It wasn't animated. I was young. I think the first time I really started paying attention to stuff like that was when I saw Brooke Shields in Blue Lagoon. I mean, that was an interesting time. But animated wise, Kim Possible. Very.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, animated wise, it was Kim Possible. She go to. So, you know.
No, Kim Pop shit. She go. This stamina said, I don't know what it is, but there are countless people in the MCU that I think are very good looking, but I don't find any of them desirable or sexy. That's what it is, yeah. Like, I think there's good looking people in the MCU TV, but I don't think I'm ever watching TV like.
Zendaya, though.
Damn, nigga, like. Can't wait to. I'm just fantasizing that right now.
Not Zendaya? No?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm saying just in general. No to Zendaya?
No, I don't know. When I see Zendaya, that's not sex appeal to me. Like, she looked good, but I mean, niggas getting all freaky deaky on stream and shit. But like, Zendaya just We need some ass. Like, that nigga say, can I please get some ass? Man. That's, yeah, Cornelia, she looked like she a sister or cousin. Like, that's pretty famo right there, nigga.
Does she? Give that sister.
I mean, like, shit. The opportunity there. Who am I to, like, who am I to say no? But, like I don't think I desire Zendaya or anything like that. That nigga Raymond said, I love black women. It's the fact that he said, I love black women. Women. And I prefer black woman. But Darcy from WandaVision and Two Broke Girls. Phew. Raymond, you got one black woman you prefer? Like, who is it? He said, my animated crush was Jasmine from Aladdin.
Oh, yeah. Jasmine.
Hungry said, I guarantee you right now Disney will cover up Emma Frost even though her being sexy is one of the main appeals.
Man, look at Ahsoka's what they had Ahsoka in the young Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series. That was not what we met young Ahsoka in when Clone Wars on Cartoon Network. She was half dressed on Cartoon Network. She was not half dressed in that, so no, you are not gonna see none of that shit.
Raptor said, mine was April O'Neil from 2003 Ninja Turtle. I fucked with April. Can't lie. Stamina said, Zendaya, nah, she's pretty as fuck, but she's way too slim for my liking. I like more woman in my women. 4 niggas hop in here and think niggas is body no, niggas is not body shaming it. This bitch is strictly preference. Like, nah, yeah, like, I'm just need some cushion for the pushing. Nigga Raymond said, my lifelong crush has been Jasmine. I love some Coco Jones, and of course, I don't know. I find Coco Jones annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
She just looks too much like Jennifer Hudson.
She irks me. Fuck the looks. She be irking me sometimes. But I think it's that.
That's not to say Jennifer Hudson's.
What's that one Disney movie with Tyler Perry? Whatever. No, that's not his name. Or fucking. What's the nigga's name from Everybody Hates Chris?
Tyler James.
James. Yeah. What is? You know that movie I'm talking about,
where he's like the DJ.
Yeah, bro. I think that's the movie that did it for me. Because after that, is Coco Jones not Roxy?
I have no idea.
Am I wrong on that? Is that
Coco Jones?
Yeah, Let It Shine. Is that not Coco Jones, or am I wrong? I could be tripping. Let me.
No, they said
yeah, she's Roxy. Yeah, okay, and that's what I don't know. Maybe it's just because that whole movie is corny to me. Like the way they made.
I'm telling you that started getting in the era of the ones I didn't watch. I didn't watch that one.
Is that what we on now? Just fantasy celebrity crushes and everything? Grace said, preferably 94 Janet Jackson. Dexter said, I had a Janet Jackson phase too. Cornelius said, oh my, he said OG Mystique.
OG Mystique.
Nah, yeah. Niggas has got some good ones in here. Nigga said, don't get me started on them 90s honeys. No. We could talk about that for a minute. Like,
are we talking about the sisters in the 90s?
Everything in the 90s. Can you scroll up a little? Because I'm reading them off the monitor. See if any ones are up here that I missed. Nope. I've read all these. If y'all got some new ones, y'all better get them in now, because it is getting late. I gotta get back home. Raymond said, half of these series don't need to happen. I don't think Black Panther 3 in this iteration is going to happen.
No. Remember they had said Black Panther 3 they were trying to do in 2026. We had read those a while back from the Marvel Studios subreddit with a bunch of other things, but no, I don't think so. Not at all.
That's all. Joe said Nia Long. Shout out, I'm a Duke.
See, that's funny.
That nigga Celtics coach was with her, and that nigga was cheating on her and shit.
That's exactly. I mean, Nia Long is always for me first. It comes to mind when I think sisters in the '90s.
I'm I don't even know if I'm not talking '90s or anything, but like real, like longest crush still to this day, biggest nigga Sierra. I still think that yes, nigga like. Hate Russell Wilson for that fact. Think that nigga is a cornball ass. Like, I always just think of it like if Sierra's with Russell Wilson, like if she knew who Q from Planet Fanatics was, she would go crazy.
Not from Planet Fanatics.
I mean, shit, where else I'm from, right? This is it. Well, Michael Jackson said, this is it.
This is the final curtain.
This is it. Raymond said Nia Long, she's kind of a trash person in real life. We ain't talk about personalities right now.
Yeah, there was some sisters in the '90s, like Jada. Jada in the '90s. Yeah.
Nigga Leah.
Yeah. Jada has issues, bro.
Niggas.
She's got issues.
B-Bird said, one more question before I slide. What's y'all's thoughts on Wonder Man cancellation, or is that a topic for tomorrow? Appreciate the stream tonight. Take care. Before you leave, let's get him in a prominent black role maybe now, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Wonder Man being there I don't think had anything to do majorly on the plot line, but no. I just feel like race swapping that was unnecessary.
I applaud it being done, being canceled. First of all, it has nothing to do with just him being improperly casted, but it also has to do with why the fuck are we doing a Wonder Man series right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it had anything major to do, and so it's like...
Yeah, no. Just like how they keep pushing Ironheart back. Ironheart just got put back to 2025 now. Just say you don't want to do it. Like, I'm confused at this point because when is Armor Wars coming out? I thought that was going to play a role.
Yeah, no. Raymond said, I hate a man losing his job, but I'm glad Wonder Man is out. I have a theory they're canceling it besides Mahershala Ali is out as Blade and they need someone to be Blade. Why not Yahya?
Is Mahershala out?
He said he has a theory that they're canceling it. I mean, no, that I wouldn't. I mean, I would still mind Mahershala getting cut and everything, letting that not working out, just because I know he wants to work it out. He's even was writing the script before everything was going on and everything. So it just shit. It would suck to see another nigga out of a job. Like Yahya getting Blade means another nigga's just out of a job, and so it sucks seeing it either way and everything. But
I know too.
Raymond also said Jada needs to go down in the water 3 times to be baptized because are you okay?
No, she's not.
Let's see. Raymond also said Ironheart should be released. It's done already.
Yeah, Ironheart is done. It is already done. I'm just confused why they keep pushing it back.
Nathan Moore said Yahya wouldn't work as Blade. Dexter said I've given up on Blade.
A lot of people have.
I've read all the ones down here. Raptor Cloak said plenty of comics, Super Brothers. Nate Moore, open a damn comic book and stop race swapping.
Yeah.
And I've read everything that's on my screen right now. If you want to scroll up, or it's getting late too.
I think that's everything. Yeah. You touched on most of it.
Unless they're in conversations. Or talking about
90s
fucking crushes.
Laura Winslow, DJ Evernight said. Vanessa Williams.
To this
Dean
day.
So sad.
To this day. No, I love Sierra. That nigga Russell Wilson better hope I never blow up.
Well, anyway, yeah, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. We got to get going, but we appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. We will be back tomorrow for Loki. I will be discussing Loki with you guys. And also, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow also. So, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Look forward to tomorrow's streams. And as always, like, subscribe, share with your friends.
Good to see y'all. Appreciate y'all being here.
Yes, sir. And we will see all of you guys in the next video. You guys enjoy your night. Be safe. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out. See ya.